mix of facts and spicy sides. I'm glad
breaking-
you're back.
Thank you. From breaking headlines to backroom whispers.
Also, hot and fresh. Hello there, Monique Tuzon.
I'm Ferdi Salvador. Glad to have you with us.
And I'm Mai Rodriguez. This is the Daily Dish.
Welcome back. No one
Thank
missed
you.
Mike.
We
Thank
missed you so much.
I miss you guys so much, but while I wasn't here, I was watching the show daily.
How was it?
You guys are a lot of fun, I gotta say. Look at it from the other side of the screen. I was like, I've got great teammates.
It was a good show.
Oh,
no?
yeah, we enjoyed
Yeah.
having Shell with
Yeah.
us.
12 noon, your lunchtime companion. But
welcome.
a lot of things happened as
I
well.
know. When I was gone, my goodness, what was okay? Well, I
lot's
found out
happening.
about the unfortunate events in
Yeah.
Cebu, the earthquake, but there's good news with that because last Saturday we were able to raise funds through Tessa Prieto and Katinga's efforts at the Red Charity
Yes,
Doula.
I heard.
And they gave 1 million pesos directly
congrats.
to the Mariquita Salimbangan Young Foundation for the rebuilding of
That is
the
a huge
Cebu,
effort.
earthquake. Yeah.
Congrats. And also, yeah, you mentioned rebuilding. Rebuilding is now the focus
Yes.
of for the victims of the Cebu
A lot
earthquake.
of them unfortunately lost their homes, and I was watching Agenda Weekend last night, and there's even a fire and stuff like
It's
that.
crazy.
But,
And there's still
hey,
aftershocks. This
yeah.
morning there was another one.
everybody,
and, yeah.
you know what? You know, it's not over. Your help is more than welcome. It is advised.
Yeah, and we have
encouraged.
Mary Ann on the line later to talk about what's happening.
Yes.
in
We
Cebu.
don't know yet when classes are going back to normal because the schools were also damaged, a lot of
Yes.
the government buildings as well. So
Yes.
we're gonna check up
The-
on Cebu. in a
Yeah,
bit.
you know what? I'm quite familiar with that area because I've been there a lot of times, and it's really a beautiful area. And I'm just sad that that's happened. I've even been to the church that collapsed before. So, but you know, all our prayers and love to the victims over there in Bugoan, Medellin, and that area of Cebu.
But there's
Yes.
also
But-
a lot happening in
making
the Senate.
headlines
Yes.
today.
Oh my goodness.
Another
A lot.
possible coup in the Senate, and Senator Panfilo Lacson resigning as Blue Ribbon Committee chairman.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
and
he
a
said in a
statement came
statement.
out, yeah.
He had a statement that he said that he decided to step down after some of his colleagues expressed disappointment over how he handled the Blue Ribbon investigation in the flood control project anomaly.
That is a surprise because a lot of people are saying he handled it so well. They gathered a lot of evidence.
Well, but
and
we don't
a
know
lot
what's
of credible
happening behind
testimonies.
closed doors as well, and I don't
Yes.
think they have anybody yet to replace him.
But there are names
There are
that
names floating
being
around.
floated. These it's just being floated. So nothing concrete at the moment. Senator Kiko Pangilinan's name has been floated. Senator Pia Cayetano's name
Yes.
has been floated,
And Senator
Senator
Alan
And
Peter
Risa
Cayetano.
Alan
Hontiveros.
Peter Cayetano, and also
Risa Hontiveros as well, right?
Also.
You said that this morning.
No. That's why I clarified.
You said it this
No,
morning.
there was a mistake.
He said he's
That's
giving me
why
fake
we're
news.
not confirming anything because those are the three names I found out about that are being floated. Not
Yes,
confirmed,
not
they're
confirmed
being
yet.
floated.
Yes.
Yeah.
So many reactions. We're gonna get that also from the House of Representatives. We have a reporter standing by because Senator Alan Peter Cayetano called for a snap election.
Oh, my
and he called
goodness.
for
Yeah.
everyone to resign.
Crazy.
But-
I don't know what's happening, but we'll see. We'll see the
We'll
update.
see, but you know
we
what?
have a guest today.
We
Ferds.
have an amazing guest. It's going to be a cool Monday because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I think it's important, especially for my two lovely, beautiful friends, to make sure that you know all about
Yes.
cancer, how to be educated and how to fight it, and of course, you've got the Charity Marohombsar. That's going to be talking to us and helping us through the journey of what she went through.
She
through
made it
cancer.
her vocation to
You know what?
guide the terminally ill.
1000%. And you know, this lady is super resilient. She went through 70 chemo sessions.
Wow.
That's a lot.
That's crazy.
That's a lot. And she came out it with blazing guns and survival.
Yeah,
so
I can't
it's
wait
an
to
amazing
hear
story
when you
to
guys
hear.
interview her.
Yes.
But on a lighter note, we have Nicole Weisenhunt's Heritage Collection that our very own Chal went to. And I can't wait to see the pieces. Actually, I'm very jealous that we didn't get to go, Mai.
Yeah.
Because if we went, we would have bought, I think, half of that.
Thank
But
God I
It's
wasn't here.
well, yes, that's a good thing though.
That's
We,
a good thing we
we
didn't go.
keep our money in
we
our
sent
pockets.
Chal there because we know we can't control ourselves. So that's going to come up after as well. Yeah, but we
Stay
have a lot
tuned
happening.
for those stories, but first, the headlines.
This is my daily dish. This is my daily dish. This is my daily dish. My daily dish. My daily dish.
In today's headlines, amid calls for another coup in the Senate, Senate President Vicente Soto III remains confident he has the support of his colleagues. An anti-corruption group, meanwhile, is against Senator Alan Peter Cayetano as Soto's possible replacement. The Philippine National Police says there is no need for a loyalty check within their ranks amid plans of another big anti-corruption rally to be held next month. Japan's Nikkei hits a record high as Sanei Takaichi is set to become the next prime minister. And how does one prepare for death? We'll speak with cancer survivor and life doula, Charity Marohombsar. Senate President Tito Soto is very confident he still has the support of the majority of senators. This comes amid speculations of another leadership coup. Senate Minority Leader Alan Peter Cayetano, who proposed for snap elections, is rumored to be mounting an attempt to unseat Soto, who took over from Senator Cheese Escudero on September 8 at the height of the flood control corruption scandal. Still on rumors of a leadership change, Tindig Pilipinas, one of the organizers of the recent trillion peso march against corruption, expressed its support for the current Senate majority. It also opposes any takeover of the Senate presidency. In a statement, the group says Senator Alan Peter Cayetano, who's seen as Tito Soto's replacement, has his own Caldero scandal to answer for. The group doesn't consider him an anti-corruption figure. Tindig asserts the current majority, composed of Senators Risa Ontiveros, Kiko Pangilinan, and Bam Aquino, has a better chance of exposing the whole truth within the bounds of the Constitution. Senator Alan Peter Cayetano over the weekend raised the possibility of a snap election for the Vice President, or for the President, the Vice President, the Senate, and Congress, citing what he says is the loss of trust in the government. But some congressmen are wary about this. Mavic Trinidad now joins us live from the Batasang Pambansa. Hi, Mavic. So tell us about the reaction there at the House.
For some congressmen, the proposal to hold snap elections at this time of our political stage poses significant risks and challenges to our nation's ability. This is the belief of Bacolod Representative Albi Benitez after Senator Alan Cayetano suggested the snap election from the President, Vice President, Senate, and Congress. In a text message, Benitez said Cayetano's move is a dangerous proposal because it could lead to the Constitution being declared null and void. Cayetano's suggestion of snap election amid public outrage over alleged collusion among some government officials, contractors, and lawmakers in pocketing funds allegedly from flood control projects. Cayetano appealed to all the sitting government officials from Congress to Malacanang to resign and give way to a snap election for a completely new set of leaders. Even his brother, Lino Cayetano, agrees with Senator Cayetano's call for snap elections. The younger brother believed that his brother's proposal will show the entire world that this generation of Filipino leaders are willing to sacrifice and step aside for the next generation. However, when asked the real reason behind Cayetano's call of snap election, Benitez believes that this aims solely to restore the public trust. Congressman Benitez remains uncertain whether other congressmen will support this proposal. Mai?
Mavic, what other stories are we expecting today from the House of Representatives?
Well, we're still waiting for the official statements of other congressmen and the House leadership regarding this issue. For now, the House remains busy with several ongoing hearings. And I would like to add also, the recent statement just released by the Makabayan Bloc regarding the call for snap elections. They said that Cayetano is trying to divert the focus from corruption accountability to snap elections, giving the illusion that corruption can be addressed simply through the electoral process that is still dominated by political dynasties and corrupt politicians. Raised the question on how will holding snap elections address the issue of accountability. They think also that the proposal is a distraction and a way to douse cold water on the people's protests. Mai?
Thank you. Mavic Trinidad, reporting live from the Batasang Pambansa. Bicol Saro Representative Terry Ridon says Senator Panfilo Lacson's chairmanship of the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee has yielded the most consequential testimonies and evidence among all proceedings in the flood control scandal. This comes after Lacson has decided to step down as the panel's chairman. Following reports, some of his colleagues are disappointed over how he handled the investigation. Ridon, who chairs the House Infrastructure Committee, explains that Lacson's committee hearings exposed not only members of Congress as principal participants in the budget process, but also executive officials in the allotment of unprogrammed appropriations. Ridon hopes Lacson will continue his advocacy on good governance. The Philippine National Police says there is no need for a loyalty check within their ranks. Acting PNP Chief Police Lieutenant General Jose Melencio Nartates reiterates their morale is high and no one approached them to protest against the government. He adds that President Bongbong Marcos himself moved to end corruption. Nartates maintains the police organization's loyalty to the Constitution amid reports of another mass protest scheduled on November 30.
On the part of the Philippine National Police, sa akin, wala pa namang kumakausap, as well as my staff, as well as the commanders, and even the regional directors, kasi yan ang mga pinaka-importante, whether civilian and or retired armed forces or Philippine National Police officials.
Nearly a week after the northern Cebu earthquake, assistance keeps flowing in from government units and private groups nationwide. Local officials are now calling for an organized and safe relief distribution as recovery work intensifies. Mary Ann Uy is joining us for an update. Hi, Mary Ann. What is the latest there?
Today is the 6th day since the earthquake struck northern Cebu, and aid continues to pour in from the private sector and provinces across the country. The distribution of food and water from local government units and private sector remains continuous during this time in different cities. Local officials appeal to those delivering aid, especially from private sector, to proceed to designated safe areas before handing out relief goods. This is to prevent possible accident on the roads, as many trucks and vehicles have been speeding to deliver supplies. Cebu Governor Pam Baricuato has called on local government units to work together in facing the ongoing crisis. In a post on her social media page, the governor clarified that the capital is not competing with any LGU. Instead, it is extending assistance to every city to help speed up relief, rebuilding, and recovery for earthquake victims. She emphasized that it is her duty to serve and not to gain political points. The governor apologized to those who may have felt she was overstepping, stressing once again that her sole intention is to serve. Mai?
Kumusta na ba ang ating mga kababayan dyan sa northern Cebu? Kasi it's been 6 days since the powerful earthquake. May mga kababayan pa ba tayo dyan na natutulog sa daan, sa kalsada, like what we've seen last week?
Medyo may improvement naman. Wala naman natutulog na sa kalsada kasi ongoing ngayon yung pag-put up ng tent city doon sa Bogo at sa may San Remigio. Karamihan din naman sa kanila yung mga residente na sa labas lang ng kanilang bahay. Hindi talaga din sa labas ng kalsada. Hindi tulad nung first day nang nangyari yung trahedya na nasa labas sila kasi natatakot. Nasa labas lang sila ng bahay but not along the roads, man.
Mary Ann, may mga areas pa ba na kailangang maabot or maabutan ng tulong? Like the far-flung areas, Sogod, at yung medyo malapit yung Medellin, ano? Pero last week kasi hindi pa yan na naaabutan ng tulong at ready-to-eat meals at yung mga pangangailangan pa nila.
Yung naglibot tayo last weekend, so far, covered naman na lahat ng local government except lang doon talaga sa mga malalayo. In fact, yung LGU ng sa Medellin, pumunta rin doon sa kailangan tatawirin ng dagat. Pumunta sila doon sa isang barangay at hatid ng mga relief goods. So far, it's covered. Yun nga lang, kailangan lang dagdagan kasi kulang pa. Kulang pa yung mga nare-receive nila na mga relief goods doon sa mga areas na yun.
And lastly, Mary Ann, do you have information doon sa sitwasyon sa ating mga tent cities dyan? Ilan bang tent city ang naitayo?
I don't have the exact number yet as of this moment, Mai. Maybe Andrea can give us details later kasi siya ang nasa Bogo City ngayon to get information and to cover the tent city. And may mga activities din kasi doon yung local government units. Hindi lang kasi sa Bogo, baka magkakaroon din yun sa San Remigio.
Alright, maraming salamat. Yes, thank you for that report. Mary Ann Uy reporting to us from Northern Cebu. Pope Leo XIV has expressed solidarity with the people of Cebu following the powerful earthquake that struck the province on September 30. The Pope said he is close to those suffering from the tragedy and urged for unity, faith, and trust in God. The quake has left at least 70 people dead and more than 450,000 affected across Cebu. Over 18,000 homes and hundreds of public structures were damaged. More than 3,000 aftershocks have been recorded since the big quake, and dozens of towns and cities remain under a state of calamity. Extended celebration on World Teachers' Day with new provisions for the Education Department. Our Elijah Bonzo joins us on the line from Pasay City. Hi, Elijah. What is coming up for our teachers?
My President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and the Department of Education capped this year's National Teachers Month and World Teachers Day celebrations at the SM MOA Arena. The culminating event highlighted reforms designed to ease teachers' workload and improve working conditions. Among them is the reduction of required school forms accomplished by teachers, which according to DepEd is now being reduced by 57%. Marcos also mentioned the administration's target of creating 60,000.
Elijah, we'll try to get back to you in a bit. We have to fix that connection. Elijah Bonzo there, reporting to us from Pasay. The Supreme Court denied Senator Amy Marcos's pronouncement on Sunday that Justice Secretary Jesus Crispin Remulla will be named as ombudsman today. The High Tribunal says there is still no shortlist for the ombudsman's post. Senator Marcos earlier posted on social media, Remulla does not deserve the post due to his pending cases related to the arrest of former President Rodrigo Duterte. Remulla said he has already submitted his clearance on his cases to the Judicial and Bar Council. Japan's Nikkei index broke past 46,000 for the first time on Monday after Sanae Takaichi won the ruling party's leadership race, setting her up to become the next prime minister. The Nikkei jumped nearly 3% while the broader topics rose more than 2%. The yen, however, weakened against major currencies as investors bet the central bank will hold off on raising interest rates. The 64-year-old Takaichi is known for her support of strong government spending and pro-growth policies inspired by the late Shinzo Abe's Abenomics. Israelis in Athens held a remembrance ceremony Sunday, marking 1 year since the October 7 Hamas attack. Mourners outside the Israeli embassy called for peace and the release of hostages. Nearby, pro-Palestinian demonstrators gathered at the Greek parliament, demanding an end to the Gaza war and accusing Israel of genocide. Overnight, Israeli strikes pounded the enclave, killing at least 16 people, according to Palestinian officials. Meanwhile, in Madrid, activists from an aid flotilla that was bound for Gaza but was intercepted accused Israel of abuse and rights violations. Dozens of activists were detained and deported. The group had sailed to challenge Israel's blockade of Gaza. Israel has halted the entry of humanitarian aid into Gaza twice, the latest one in March 2025.
Tenorios head coaching era gets off to a winning start in the PBA. Tenorio led the Magnolia Hotshots to victory against his former team, Barangay Ginebra, in Manila Clasico Sunday at the Smart Araneta Coliseum. Final score 80-73. Xavier Lucero top scored for Magnolia with 17 points, along with 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and 4 steals. Now in UAAP Season 88, the Ateneo Blue Eagles bested their rivals, the De La Salle Green Archers, in Round 1 Sunday at the Mall of Asia Arena in Pasay. Final score 81-74. Ateneo remains perfect at 4-0, leading the team standings. Now shifting gears to Formula One, flawless victory for Mercedes driver George Russell in the Singapore Grand Prix. The 27-year-old Brit ruled from pole position to victory as he denied Red Bull star Max Verstappen in a third straight win on Sunday. This is Russell's second victory of the season and the 5th in his career. McLaren's Lando Norris, meantime, rounded out the podium with third place, securing a second consecutive constructors title for the team. Filipinos turn anything into a celebration, even a brand announcement. When American singer-songwriter SZA becomes the artistic director of a shoe brand, Pinoys flood the post with jokes and even make a sarcastic congratulatory banner as if she just won Miss Barangay. The Grammy winner finds it hilarious, reposts it, and calls it so sweet, thanking Filipinos for the laugh. Truly, only Pinoys turn a brand deal into a fiesta.
That is so cute.
I love how like Filipinos always do. What are they called? The tarpaulin. They have that for everything.
Yeah. They have a
Congratulations to
knack for
baptisms
comedy.
and yeah. But sorry, I was like SZA. She's like a
She's
global
half
star.
Filipino, yeah.
Okay, because with the tarpaulin, it was like,
Is
wow.
she half Filipino ba? I know.
Pang barangay levels
she
yung
is.
tarpaulin.
That's, I was like, I checked at the monitor. I was like, what is Monique talking about?
I didn't write that, so she could have been Miss Universe or Miss Philippines. Pang Miss Philippines, not
Yes.
Miss Barangay.
And did you see, by the way, at the F1 races, one of our beauty queens was there wearing
Catriona.
Catriona was
she
there.
She hosted for what's the red team? I forgot. Not Red Bull. Lewis Hamilton's team.
That team.
Ferrari. Yes, she
Ferrari.
hosted for Ferrari.
Yeah, it was cool because she also wore her. Was it her dress?
It looked like it because she a variant theme with Ferrari, very red.
Yeah, do you have a lava walk as well?
No, I don't have a lava
Who was she
walk.
spotted with? Was she with anyone?
Wala. Oh, I like the question.
I
My
like
wife.
so juicy. Naging showbiz si Mai.
Mai's asking for Monday cheese.
Yes, give us the
Nobody.
dish.
No, she was just there
Wala.
hosting. Oh, there. It's similar to her. We're showing it on the LED screen.
Yeah.
It's similar to her lava walk. I blinked out. I'm like,
There
the
you
red
go,
team.
because the
Oh,
first
sorry.
photo was
Looking
dark.
I love her
So-
gown.
So
Diba?
pretty. We gotta cover the Singapore Grand Prix or whatever. Which one is the next one? We
Wish
gotta
ko
go to
lang.
one of
Wish
them.
ko lang. Hi, bosses. Send us.
Anyway, guys, from Singapore, we're gonna move on to Hong Kong because thousands packed the narrow streets of Hong Kong's Tai Hang for the Blazing Fire Dragon Dance. A 67-meter-long dragon stuffed with burning incense sticks weaves through crowds like a glowing serpent. Over 300 performers fuel the century-old tradition as phones light up to capture the fiery frenzy.
Coming up next, we will speak with life doula Charity Marohombsar, and she's going to talk to us on how to face death courageously. Stay with The Daily Dish.
This is my daily dish. My daily dish.
Welcome back. You're still watching The Daily Dish. How does one face death, which is an inevitable part of life?
Joining us in the studio is a life doula or end-of-life coach who found her mission after surviving her own battle with cancer. Please welcome Charity Marohombsar. Welcome, Charity.
Hi,
Thank
Charity.
you.
Thank you. Finally, Ferdi.
Finally, I
Yes,
know
thank
you were supposed to come on last week, but
Yes.
I begged and I requested that I be here to talk
Thank
to you
you,
because
thank you.
oh no, I'm gonna start the waterworks already.
No, this may be a difficult conversation for some, especially
Yes.
people going through
Yes,
something with their
because
families
this
as
is very
well.
close to my heart because my mom was afflicted with cancer and unfortunately she passed away and I started what's happening. And I did a live doula, but the thing is, you know, the journey that cancer patients and their support teams are completely different.
Yes,
You've got the warrior who's fighting the battle,
true.
and the support team also is fighting their own battle,
Yes.
which is trying to make sure that the loved one survives, and that's completely two different stories.
Two different stories, two different needs.
Yes, that's why we wanted to talk to you, Mai and I wanted to talk to you about what exactly is a life doula.
Okay. Doula is an old word. It was formerly used by birth doulas.
Yes.
So a doula is a nurturer. In the olden times, they helped women get pregnant, take care of them when they're pregnant and even after birth.
Or during, actually.
Yeah, during and dealing with all the emotions that a pregnant woman goes through. So when I was, my coach, Kimi Lu, our good
Yes,
friend,
our friend, yeah.
I was telling her this is what I want to do, and we coined the word life doula.
Yes.
A life doula is someone who, in my case, takes care of a cancer warrior, but I also include in the care the love giver.
Yeah.
The families are
families.
taking care, but because as Ferdi said, it's a totally different need, right? So as a life doula, I help patients navigate with their cancer journey. I also become sometimes the health executor, especially for older people with no families around. I go with them in doctor's visit to ask the right questions, right? Because when you are going, I went through this myself, when you're going through your own journey, everything's a blur. You know, the doctor's talking, you can't even absorb what's happening. So having a life doula with you, you're able to ask the right questions.
Right.
And I debrief the patient and the family. So that's one of the services of a life doula. And in the whole journey, people go through grief,
Yes.
right? They grieve for the life that before the diagnosis.
It is a long
Or
process.
a lot of times for those at the terminal stage, they experience anticipatory grief.
Yeah.
Both for the warriors and for the families.
You are such a gift because, you know, I have to be honest, it's the first time I've heard there is an end-of-life coach And I can imagine what gift you are to those families going through something. And like Ferdi said, like the mission is different for families, no?
Yes.
Like they want
They want the best for,
yes, they want
for their loved
one
one
to survive. But then
Yes.
the one afflicted with a terminal illness might want to go peacefully in
Yes.
his or her own terms, with as much grace and ease as possible.
dignity.
Dignity.
Yes.
and dignity.
Yeah.
Yes.
And dignity.
But did you know, Mai, that Charity of Cam and I were chatting? She was a corporate warrior before becoming a life doula. But as I mentioned a while ago, 70 chemo rounds.
Yes.
How did you handle that
I don't.
physically?
I honestly, really by God's grace, because I had to work. The cost of my chemotherapy was just off the charts. And if I couldn't work, how will I be able to pay?
Afford, yeah.
And for you know this, I am blessed that I was working with a very good family, a conglomerate. I always say I was blessed that I was diagnosed with stage 4 metastatic breast cancer. I was with the Aboitiz Group, one of the best employers in the country. They allowed me to work, but they also balanced my schedule. So on Fridays, while everyone's saying, hey, you know, thank God it's Friday, it's my healing day. That's the perspective I adopted. So Friday is healing day. I end my meetings at 3. Sometimes I continue it in the hospital, meeting with my team, and then chemo starts, and then the next 7 days will be a blur because you don't know where the pain is coming from in your body. But I would work, except probably on the 3rd or 4th day when I really have to just be in bed. You know? So that's why I decided to leave corporate, because I saw a lot of things that needs to be done in the cancer space.
So during your cancer journey, you're a cancer warrior, a survivor, but during that journey, as you're battling this disease, when did you realize that you have a calling to be a life doula?
You know, ironically, when I was undergoing my own treatment, my first session was in the ambulatory. In the ambulatory, there's about 20 cubicles. And I realized that people go through this alone. No? The hospitals only allow sometimes one. Yung iba walang kasama. So I said, what am I gonna do? 6 hours of infusion. So, pakialamera ako eh. So I said to the head nurse, how many people here have no companion? Sabi niya, ma'am, siguro mga 60%. So I told my doctor, I have 6 hours. I would hop from one cubicle to another. Just, you know, I was already bald, so they know I'm a patient. I have the IV drip, so they know I'm getting treatment. And I would say, can I sit with you? And no one has turned me down. And I said, sure. And one question lang, I asked them, how are you really? Ayan na. Iyak, you know, nobody asked me that question. I'm going through a lot. I cannot sleep. All the what ifs. And so there I realized that the gap in the healthcare system, and for no fault of anyone, is very disease-centric. Everyone talks about the tumor. Ferdi is tearing up. I'm so sorry.
I know, because it's hard to think that a loved one feels so lonely going through this.
Yes.
And it's hard for me to accept that.
Yes, and I'm sorry, I'm going to make you cry even more. The warrior going through it sometimes does not even think of themselves.
No, they don't.
They think of their family.
Yeah.
And there's no age, no time that you'll say, oh, okay na, pwede nang hindi. I mean, especially if the patient, the warrior is a mother, they would still think of their children,
Being
not
a
them.
mother.
Oh my
yes.
God, yeah.
Pero ganun pala talaga, no? Even if there are family members around you giving all their support, pero you, like as someone battling cancer, you're still alone.
Oh, yes.
No?
Yes. You know what's my peak hour for coaching and counseling? At night. When everyone's asleep, when it's only them and their thoughts. I would get a lot of rescue calls saying, please call me, I'm having a panic attack. Because
That's why
everyone's
you don't
asleep.
wake up early.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Because it's during the evening that the anxiety settles in.
It's when their like siguro their minds would go like to all these scenarios, yung
Yes, the what
anxiety
ifs.
kicks in. Yes, no, and the fears are settling in
The
sa gabi.
uncertainty. Because they try to put a strong front in front of their loved ones. And when they're gone, they're asleep, that's when they deal with their own dark thoughts, what ifs, what if I don't make it?
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of families would say, don't tell my mom how serious the illness is.
Yeah.
But I have something for you. They know.
But
they know their body.
Even the burden of the cancer patient thinking about, oh my gosh, what's the cost to my loved
Yes, yeah.
ones? Of course, that's
They look
that's,
at themselves as burden.
Yeah. What's the most difficult part of terminal ill patients or those patients that are that have contracted the disease at their twilight? How do you?
It's the hardest part is, as I said, there's never a good time to say goodbye, right? And 90% of my patients who are terminally ill would say, I wish I have a little bit more time,
Yeah.
just months to spend with my family. So time with family is the most important. Nobody has ever told me, I wish I can close another deal or something.
Yeah.
No,
Can you imagine?
it's really time
It's the
with
time.
family.
Yeah.
But
Time
what
with
is the most eye-opening for you having talked to or having held the hand of someone who is facing the fact that he or she is dying?
That, to me, this is a lesson, and this is why I do what I do. That they wish they lived a full life. So that's really my message. Breast Cancer Awareness Month, have yourself checked, but continue to live. That's why, we have a shared passion for D&I, and we really have to be able to empower patients to live a full life. And that's why the treatment approach has to be holistic. Modern medicine, thank you, yay, there's so much advancement, but there has got to be other ways of supporting the patient's body emotionally, mentally, nutritionally, and even other modalities that Ferdi and I have been talking about.
Yes, but of course, we have a lot to still talk about here on the Daily Dish with Charity. We'll be right back after this quick break.
This is my daily dish.
Welcome back. You're still watching the Daily Dish. Still with us is Charity Marohombsar. And there's not a dry eye in the studio.
It's like the
today.
floodgates have been opened.
Yes,
like the tears
because
are coming.
yeah, mine now has recalled
No.
her best friend
Because
also.
I think everyone has dealt with cancer, like somebody you lost,
Yes.
diba? Somebody,
Yes.
a loved one, a friend.
Yeah, and of
so-
course, one of our producers, Miss Gigi, also who went through this a year and a half ago. This is why I'm taking the emotions back. This is why you're so important. I'm sure you have had your fair share of, dealing with what you're looking at right now.
Yes.
Because how hard is it for you to absorb this or even expel emotions that are being thrown towards you?
I have my own coach.
Yeah.
I do my own clearing, emotional regulation, because it's hard not to be attached, especially because I'm a very high empath.
Yeah.
So I cannot just say, this is just a case, this is just a patient. No. I make sure I find out what kind of support the patient needs. And a lot of times it's me taking them to the hospital, especially if they're elderlies. Or if they're scared to go through their test, I go with them. That's part of journeying with them.
Right. But
But-
also, it's not all about death, folks, okay?
Yes.
Because there are a lot of
Survivors.
survivors and beautiful stories that stem from
Yes.
your journey with them.
Yes,
So,
yes.
of course, those people who are just going through after being diagnosed, how do you deal with that emotion? How do you prepare them to like be stronger emotionally? You know, prepare for their chemo sessions and what they should be expecting.
Yeah, well, every phase of the cancer journey, I'm there. When I catch them at the beginning, I make sure we do a prehabilitation, like what to expect in the journey, what things they need to do to prepare the household.
Yeah.
Like make sure everyone's checked, no one has respiratory issues, because when the patient starts chemotherapy, the patient is immunocompromised.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So prepare, and then if possible, I work with other doctors, like functional medicine doctors, to also
Like
help
Dr.
them.
Oye Balburias.
Yes,
Yeah.
to help them prepare their body for chemotherapy. And even after, because, you know, we always say chemo is like a carpet bombing your whole body. So you also have to rebuild again the body. So part of my work is to also refer or connect them to the right doctors to help them replenish whatever they've
Nutrition
lost.
is very crucial. yeah.
Food is medicine. Food is medicine. It's part of the recovery of cancer.
We have to stop eating like bad stuff.
I know. No, but are we more open, like as Filipinos, families now dealing with somebody who's terminally ill? Are we now more open of
It really
talking
depends
about
on the
death,
age,
facing
right?
it with dignity?
The older generation are still a little bit close, but it's normally the families, the younger generation who reaches out to me.
So it's no longer taboo.
It's no longer taboo, but death still is. Like, even if it's very evident already, there's progression. And, you know, timing is key on how to tell them, I think we need to prepare the patient, right? And I really empower the patient by asking, how do you want to spend the last months or years of your life? I think that's a very important question.
Is it only for cancer that you deal with this? Or
I also help what we call the frail adults, those who are old and they're really just getting sick. I come in as an end-of-life doula, preparing the patient and the families, because death is sacred. It can be beautiful
It can
if
be
we
beautiful.
prepare for it,
yeah,
right?
it can be beautiful.
So our own Chalon Talk has helped me launch a program called Tender
That's
Hearts.
Child de Rosario for you guys.
Yes.
I'm
Yeah,
old.
So she helped me launch Tender Hearts. It's really for end-of-life care. It's from preparing your advance directives, meaning all your medical wishes. So if you want to be able to honor them, prepare them early. And for those who are very open, we even do life celebrations. So death doesn't have to be so sad, because if you are prepared, if the patient is prepared, we can really uplift and curate the end of life.
I went to a memorial of a friend. It was a party. There was a
Yes.
DJ. There
Wow.
was dancing.
Yes.
Because they wanted to celebrate his life,
Yes.
and remember him as a happy party person.
Yes.
Right. So it's not. Death shouldn't be, like they said, about
shouldn't be morbid
mourning or
yeah.
sadness.
Yeah.
It's about remembering the one that you loved
Yes,
as
yes.
they were.
And
I think I should put that on my wishes, when the time comes, and not the near future.
in a very, very distant future.
Very, very distant. I'm gonna put there, if you cry, I will make you multo. So, and if you wear the wrong outfit, I'll make you multo.
Or there's a jar,
Outfits.
like there's a fine, you put
Be
your
fine,
penalty.
the multo jar.
I have clients na they say no white or black in my funerals, only colored outfits.
Yes.
No crying, bring wine. And I had to set up something like that, because she was a cheese and wine person. So, and on the second night, we had a lounge singer singing in the funeral parlor. And we had to deck the whole area. It looked like a lounge.
Yeah,
a
so my
hotel
friends,
lounge.
prepare. If you're watching, my friends, be sure that you're going to be drinking a copious amount of tequila. Yeah.
Charity, do you also talk to someone who may be open about planning her own memorial?
Yes.
Do you talk to people like
That's
that?
so wild. I mean,
No, because
to me, it's not taboo.
No, because me, I want to plan my own.
Like what?
As
Like-
early as maybe now.
Yeah,
diba?
but of course, for the very distant
Yes,
future.
yes. But I want
Like, what
it,
are your wishes? I want to know.
like for example, something as tiny, like a tiny detail, like the music that you will play.
Yes.
Or
We do
the-
that. I do that. With the
how
patient.
the setup will be, how you welcome friends.
Like what song? Please don't tell me never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down.
What songs?
Pwedeng ganon.
Yes, I want to plan it.
And even there is what we call Swedish death clean.
What's that?
Swedish?
It's Swedish death clean is a phase in the dying process where the patient who's going to die. Di ba normally sa atin, after the person dies, the things are given away by the relatives.
Yes.
This one, the person prepares.
Packages for everyone?
I had to bring in people to pack and make it look like a gift.
Like
She
her own
writes.
things?
Yeah.
Oh, your own little pamana siguro.
Oh, wow.
to your
Sorry,
loved
guys.
ones.
You cannot expect anything. I'm taking my jewelry with me to my grave. Like the pyramids. Okay?
Yes, but to answer your question, yes, I do that with patients.
Wow, interesting.
And not even patients. People who are just ready to talk about it.
But okay, since you're on, how do people that that wanna have a conversation with you reach you?
A lot of my patients reach out to me through my Instagram and through Better Days Wellbeing. That's my community. 90% of my patients just message me and say, I have this, I want to talk to you about this. So the first part is really a discovery call to find out if I can help them and if they want to work
You have
with me.
refused people.
Yes.
Because of what reason?
Faith is really part of what I do. So praying is part of what I do. Praying with, right? And if they say, I don't want to talk about religion, I don't want to talk about spirituality, I still say it's not religion, it's spirituality. But if they really don't want to, to me,
You
there's
can't
only
help them with that, yeah.
And I refuse patients if the family members is the one engaging me and the patient is not open, meaning I don't have the mandate from the patient, then I say no. Even if the family says, I'll double your rate. But if the patient himself does not want to work with me, I don't think I can help. So I say no to that. Even if the family says, sige na, take. No, I say no.
Charity, we need more people like you, life doulas. So, are we training end-of-life coaches?
Thank you
Because
for
There's gonna be
this
more
needs a
of you.
lot of.
Yes,
Yeah.
we are. I'm launching actually my certification program because I'm opening a hospice next year because we don't have a formal hospice.
Yes, we don't. It's very surprising.
Yeah, we have homes that are converted into hospices, but they are not real facilities. I went to this hospice in Kawamura. It's a hospice in Japan.
Okay.
And anywhere in the room of the patient, they see Mount Fuji.
Wow.
So, and anywhere they go, they have their own garden. In the morning, they're wheeled out in the garden and they spend time there. And instead of a very anesthetic environment, it's very warm. So during the day, you will hear rooms with sound bath.
Yeah.
You will hear rooms with violins. And
Imagine for the terminally ill patients there, instead of like a bleak scenario,
Yes.
a bleak environment.
That's
It could
beautiful.
be very healing as well every day.
the nurses were even saying, after 3 months, because you only get admitted to the hospice when the doctors say in 3 months' time you're gonna go, right? But because the environment
They
is
extend. Amazing.
and they're asked to leave because they're not yet dying.
You
They're
like
not
go
dying.
home.
Yes.
So we need something like that here.
That's
That's what
what
she's
we're
setting
planning
up.
to
So,
build. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
all right, I wish we had a whole other hour for
Thank you
Charity.
so much
We
for
have a
having me.
last question because we always have to ask this question. If you have a billion pesos, what would you do with it?
I'll probably set up a hospital and a halfway house for cancer patients. We have a lot of kababayans from the provinces and you know where they sleep before they see their doctors? At the bus terminals. If I have billion pesos, I'd spend it on facilities that will elevate and make it a little better for cancer patients.
And make treatment accessible
Yes.
also. No?
So take note, people with the extra $1 billion. Take notes from Charity. Be guilty.
Thank you so much for having this conversation
Thank you, my
with
dear.
us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for flooding her eyes this morning.
Thank you.
All right, up next, we take you to a jewelry designer collection where elegance meets heritage. The Daily Dish. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
And welcome back. You're still watching The Daily Dish. They say diamonds are a girl's best friend, but this collection shows jewelry can also be a piece of history, carrying elegance and heritage. This report from Chal Lontok.
A rare collection of timeless jewelry, dating as far back as the early 1900s, took center stage at the Leon Gallery in Makati. The Hunt Heritage Collection brought together exquisite pieces that blur the line between fine jewelry and art. These are not just accessories, they are heirlooms. The collection features one-of-a-kind jewelry pieces, some over a century old, carefully curated for both admiration and collection.
When you walked in the gallery earlier, you could see that there were a bunch of images being projected on the walls, and those are snippets from iconic Hollywood cinema shots where like a lot of icons are wearing like beautiful jewelry, and majority of them were like maybe from the golden age, so 1950s. Then we also have something a little bit current, like you saw the one of Julia Roberts for Pretty Woman. So that was the theme for the event: vintage pieces and icons and like the kind of jewelry that they had at the time.
Designer Nicole Hunt sought to highlight the enduring appeal of these works of art. For Nicole, each piece also represents heritage, history, and craftsmanship.
I've always loved art, so aside from that, I've always loved vintage, all kinds of vintage pieces, like from furniture, jewelry, or even the look. Sometimes I do enjoy vintage looks. Jewelry is an art. It's just another medium or another form of expression. So that's why even in Paris, you have that museum that's really dedicated to jewelry as well.
Each item, rare, unique, and steeped in history, is meant to be treasured for generations to come. The Hunt Heritage Collection also gave art and jewelry lovers not only a chance to appreciate, but also a rare opportunity to own a piece of history, a timeless legacy now within reach. For Bilyonaryo News Channel, I'm Chal Lontok.
Wow, that's a lot of bling.
I know you love it.
Yeah. So, ladies, how many more days do we have till Christmas?
80 days!
80 days!
80 days and it's 80 days of more fun,
Yes,
Always more fun. And
that's
here's
it for
Bilyonaryo News Channel.
us today, this Monday, October 6th. Join us again tomorrow for more Real Talk
A lot of spilled tea.
With Zero Filter, I'm Monique Tuzon. Anytime is always a good time because it's always more fun.
I'm Ferdi Salvador, always on top with the news and stories that matter most.
Thanks for making us your lunchtime companion. I'm Mai Rodriguez. That's a Daily Dish served